When are you going back to Brazil? I looked down at the ground, trying to stop the tears. I didn't want to cry in front of those two girls. Why did they have to say things like that? If only I could go back to Brazil, I thought. Memories of my early years filled my head. Playing, swimming, dancing, music, laughter. When my parents decided to move to Japan, though, I had to leave all that behind. I was only 7 years old at the time, but I still remember that day. Elena, we are going to Japan. For holiday? I knew I had some distant relatives in Japan, although I'd never met them. It would be fun to fly in an airplane and visit them. No, to live. We are going to work there, and you'll be able to go to a new school and learn Japanese. Then you'll be able to go to a university there, and if you can speak 2 languages fluently when you grow up, you'll be able to get a good job in the future. I don't want to go to a new school. I like my school here. And what about my friends? Don't worry, Elena. You'll make new friends. I didn't want new friends. I wanted my old friends, my grandparents, my uncles and aunts and cousins in Brazil. But there was no arguing. It was decided, and that was that. 2 months later, we arrived in Japan. The first few months were hard because I didn't speak Japanese. However, my teachers and classmates were kind. I soon picked up the language and made friends and spent 5 happy years at elementary school. The problem began when I moved to junior high school. My junior high school accepts students from 3 different elementary schools, and I found myself in a class with many people I had never met before. Although I spoke Japanese fluently and my behavior was in no way different from anyone else's, 2 of my new classmates started to tease me after they heard me speaking Portuguese with my parents at the entrance ceremony. What hurt me most was the question of when I was going back to Brazil. If I went back to Brazil, to school in Brazil, it would be so difficult to catch up with my former classmates there. Besides, all my friends were in Japan now. I'd spent half of my life in Japan, and Japan was my home. The 2 girls started again. When are you going back to Brazil? I wished they would stop. Then suddenly I heard a voice behind me. Elena, what's the matter? Natsumi, Maiko, and Kaori were walking over to me. They had been my friends since my arrival in Japan. At first, we taught each other words in Japanese and Portuguese. After that, we always encouraged and helped each other. Oh, nothing. I'm just being asked again when I'm going back to Brazil. Natsumi turned angrily toward the 2 girls who were teasing me. Don't you understand? You have only one culture, but Elena has 2. Okay, that makes her different, but aren't we all different? Michael joined in, saying to the 2 girls, you're both different from me, but that's not a bad thing. I'm certainly not nasty to you because of it. The 2 girls looked ashamed. After a few moments of tense silence, they walked off toward the classroom. As I saw them walking away, the anger inside me overflowed. I hate it. Natsumi put her hand on my shoulder as if to calm me. Elena, they just don't understand yet. They'll realize eventually. Natsumi's right, added Kaori. I know that sometimes being Brazilian and Japanese makes things difficult for you, but it also makes you special. Yes, that's something to be proud of, said Maiko. My friends were right. Deep inside, I knew that they were right. I looked at them with gratitude and finally let the tears fall.